It was a sunny morning when Sarah decided to go to the bank. She had been thinking about it for a long time, but today was the day. Sarah had just started a new job, and now she needed to open a new bank account. She had saved some money and wanted to put it in the bank. As Sarah walked to the bank, she could hear the sounds of the busy city. People were walking, talking, and cars were driving by. She took a deep breath, feeling a little nervous. But she was also excited because she knew that opening a bank account was an important step. When Sarah arrived at the bank, she stopped in front of the big glass doors. The bank looked big and clean inside. She could see several people standing in line, waiting to speak with the bank tellers. Some people were holding papers while others were looking at their phones. Sarah opened the door and walked into the bank. The cool air inside felt nice, especially after the warm sunshine outside. There was a small sign at the entrance that said, "Please take a ticket from the machine and wait for your number to be called." Sarah looked around and saw a machine near the wall. She went over, pressed a button, and a small ticket came out. The ticket had a number on it, 34. Okay, Sarah thought, I'll just wait my turn. She walked over to the seating area and sat down. There were a few other people sitting and waiting too. Sarah looked around and saw a big sign that said, "How can we help you today?" It had pictures of different services: opening accounts, withdrawing money, and asking questions. The wait didn't seem very long. After a few minutes, a friendly woman at the front counter looked up and smiled. She was standing behind a desk and talking to a customer. As Sarah's number was called, she stood up and walked toward the counter. The woman greeted her warmly. "Good morning. How can I help you today?" she asked. Sarah felt a little nervous, but she smiled back. "Hi, I would like to open a new account," she said. The woman nodded and asked Sarah to take a seat. "I can help you with that. First, let's get some information from you." Sarah sat down in the small chair in front of the desk, feeling a little bit nervous. The woman smiled at her as if to make her feel more comfortable. "First, I'll need you to fill out this form," she said, handing Sarah a piece of paper and a pen. "It's very simple. Just write your name, address, and phone number." "Okay, thank you," Sarah replied, taking the form. She looked at the paper for a moment. The questions seemed easy enough, so she started writing down her information. As she filled out the form, Sarah noticed that there were some other customers in the bank. A man was standing in line at another counter talking to a teller. An older woman was sitting quietly reading a magazine. Sarah felt a little more relaxed watching everyone go about their business. When she finished the form, she stood up and handed it back to the woman behind the desk. "Here you go," Sarah said, a little more confidently now. "Thank you," the woman replied, taking the form. She quickly looked over the details and typed something into the computer. "Everything looks good," the woman said with a smile. "I'll just finish setting up your account and you'll be all set. Do you have an ID with you? We need to see some identification before we can open your account." "Oh yes," Sarah said, quickly reaching into her purse. She pulled out her driver's license and handed it to the woman. "Perfect, thank you," the woman said, looking at the ID for a moment. Then she returned it to Sarah. While the woman finished typing information into the computer, Sarah looked around the bank. There were several posters on the walls showing the different kinds of services the bank offered. One poster showed how to use the bank's ATM, and another showed different savings plans. Sarah wondered if she would want to open a savings account later. After a few minutes, the woman looked up again and smiled. "Your new account will be ready in just a moment. Would you like to ask about any of our services while you wait?" Sarah thought for a moment. She had heard about savings accounts, but she didn't know much about them. "Yes, I would like to know more about savings accounts," Sarah said. "How do they work?" The woman nodded and began to explain. Sarah listened carefully as the woman behind the counter began to explain the different types of savings accounts the bank offered. "Let me explain a little about our basic savings account," the woman said, adjusting her glasses. "It's simple and easy to use. You can deposit money whenever you like, and you can also take money out when you need it. The bank will give you a small amount of interest on the money you keep in the account." Sarah nodded, thinking about how she could use the savings account to keep her money safe and grow a little over time. "What kind of interest do you offer?" she asked. The woman smiled. "It's a small amount, but it helps your money grow. You can earn more if you keep your money in the account for a longer time. But if you need your money right away, you can still take it out whenever you want." "That sounds good," Sarah said, feeling more confident about her decision. "I think I would like to open a savings account as well." The woman nodded. "Great. I'll add that to your new account. You can deposit money at any time, and you'll also be able to check your balance online or at the ATM." "Good," Sarah replied. She was excited about the idea of using online banking. She had heard about it before but never used it herself. The woman explained more about the bank's online services, showing Sarah a brochure with the bank's website and instructions on how to set up online banking on her phone or computer. "It's very easy," the woman said. "Once you're set up, you can transfer money, check your account balance, and even pay bills from home." "Wow, that sounds so convenient," Sarah said, impressed. The woman smiled. "It is. If you have any questions about using online banking, we have a customer service number you can call. We also have a lot of helpful guides on our website." Sarah felt happy with her choice. She had learned a lot about the bank services and she was excited to use them. She was also starting to feel more comfortable talking to the bank staff. She had come in feeling nervous, but now she felt like she was ready to handle her money better. "Thank you for explaining everything," Sarah said. "I'm looking forward to using my new account and the online banking." The woman nodded and said, "You're very welcome. I'm happy to help. We'll have everything ready for you in just a moment." After a few more moments of typing, the woman looked up with a warm smile. "Your new account is all set up," she said. "Here is your new bank card. This card will allow you to withdraw money from ATMs, and you can also use it to make purchases in stores. I will also give you a small brochure that explains how to use your card and PIN." Sarah took the card, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The card was simple, with her name printed on the front. It felt a little strange to hold a piece of plastic that would now help her manage her money, but it was also exciting. She carefully put the card into her wallet. "Thank you," Sarah said, smiling. She was starting to feel much more comfortable in the bank now. "How do I use this card to withdraw money?" The woman explained, "It's easy. You can use your card at any ATM. Just insert the card, type your PIN, and choose how much money you want to withdraw. You can also check your account balance or transfer money at the ATM. And don't forget, you can also use your card to make payments in stores or online." "Got it," Sarah said, feeling more confident. "So, if I want to withdraw money, I can just go to the ATM and use this card?" "That's right," the woman replied. "If you need cash, just use your card at the ATM. You can withdraw as much money as you have in your account. But remember, if you want to withdraw more than you have, there may be an extra charge. So always make sure you have enough money in your account." "Okay, I will keep that in mind," Sarah said. She was beginning to understand how important it was to keep track of her money. The woman also added, "If you ever need help with your card or if you lose it, just call our customer service number. We'll help you cancel the card and send you a new one." Sarah nodded, feeling reassured. "Thanks. I feel much better now. This has been really helpful." "Of course," the woman said. "Before you go, would you like to take out some money today? You can make a small withdrawal or deposit if you like." Sarah thought for a moment. She hadn't planned on withdrawing any money today, but it seemed like a good idea to take out a little to try out her new card. "Yes, I would like to withdraw some money," she said. "How much would you like to take out?" the woman asked. "I'd like to take out $100, Sarah replied. It felt like a good amount for her first withdrawal. The woman quickly processed the transaction, and a few seconds later, she handed Sarah a stack of bills and a receipt. "Here's your $100, she said. "And here's your receipt. You can keep it for your records." Sarah took the money and the receipt, feeling a little proud. She had just withdrawn her first amount of money from her new account. She thanked the woman once again, feeling happy and satisfied with the experience. As she walked out of the bank, Sarah thought about everything she had learned. She felt much more confident about managing her money now. With her new bank card and savings account, she was ready to take the next step toward being financially responsible. She smiled to herself as she stepped back into the busy city street. It was a good day. She had opened a bank account, learned about saving money, and even made her first withdrawal. Sarah was excited to continue using her new account and to see how easy managing her money could be. Sarah stepped out of the bank, her new bank card safely tucked away in her wallet. The cool air outside felt refreshing after the warm, quiet atmosphere inside. She looked down at the small stack of bills in her hand and the receipt. It was a small amount of money, but it felt like a big step forward. As she walked down the sidewalk, she thought about everything she had learned today. "Now I can manage my money much better," she thought, smiling to herself. She had opened a new account, learned about savings, and even made her first withdrawal. She was proud of herself for completing the whole process without any problems. As she passed a coffee shop, Sarah thought about how easy it was to spend money. It made her realize how important it was to keep track of her finances. She remembered the woman at the bank mentioning online banking. Sarah was curious about it. She took out her phone and thought about setting up her account for online banking. That would be so convenient, she thought, tapping her screen to search for the bank's app. The app seemed easy to download. After just a few minutes, Sarah had it installed on her phone. She was excited to try out the online services later. It would be great to be able to transfer money or check her balance without even needing to go to the bank. While waiting for the app to finish setting up, Sarah looked up and noticed a small sign near the coffee shop. It said, "Get your free coffee with a bank card today." That's interesting, Sarah thought, smiling. She had never thought about using her bank card for rewards, but it made sense. Maybe she could enjoy a free coffee today. She walked into the shop and approached the counter. "Hi, I'm new to the bank and I just got my bank card," Sarah said to the barista behind the counter. "I saw the sign outside. Can I get a free coffee with my new card?" The barista smiled warmly. "Of course. Just swipe your card and your coffee is on us today." Sarah handed over her new bank card. The barista swiped it and within seconds, Sarah was holding a cup of hot coffee in her hands. She thanked the barista and found a seat by the window. As she sat down, she looked out at the busy street, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "It's nice to see how many things I can do with my new bank card," she thought. "I can use it at stores for online shopping and even get rewards. I feel more confident about managing my money now." Sarah took a sip of her coffee and smiled. Today had been a big step for her, and she was excited to continue learning about managing her money in the future. The bank had made everything so easy, and she felt ready to handle her finances more responsibly. As the afternoon sun started to set, Sarah finished her coffee and decided to head home. She felt like her day had been productive and she was proud of herself for learning something new. With her bank account, savings plan, and new card, she was ready for whatever came next.